Imagine taking a trip to Jamaica to celebrate your 10th year wedding anniversary at one of the best resorts, and then this happens. I'm Paris Flanagan, your St. Andrew Parish reporter, and I spoke to Mary Brower, who was stuck in paradise as Hurricane Beryl ripped through the area. She says it was a time she'll never forget. What started as a vow renewal getaway quickly became a train wreck of anxiety for Mary Brower and her husband. They took a trip to Jamaica in late June and were supposed to return a day before the 4th of July, but Mother Nature had other plans.
And the hurricane was hitting and we saw trees falling. Of course, that became a concern.
Hurricane Beryl barreled through parts of the island, extending their trip an extra 3 days.
You know, at one point, I actually sat there and thought, what happens if we don't get home?
With the airports shut down until further notice, her greatest worry was her 2 kids back in the States.
And so that was the worst part of it, is calling them on Tuesday night and telling them, hey, we're not coming home tomorrow. We'll still be here another 3 days. At least.
She credits the resort for keeping the guests calm through the chaos. They never lost power and stayed stocked with food and water. Although worried, she says the rumble of the hurricane is very familiar.
No, being from Louisiana, I really wasn't scared. I kept going out to look and see what was going on.
But leaving the island, she says, was a little bit of a gamble.
After the hurricane itself, being out on the property, the ground was so saturated that even after the hurricane, they had trees that fell just because of the saturation of the ground. So, riding through the property, I was constantly looking at the trees, wondering, is one of these trees going to fall?
Luckily, the worst blew over, and Brower and her husband made it back to Louisiana this past Sunday. If anything, Mary Brower says she learned a thing or two from this trip.
Don't travel during hurricane season to the islands.
Brower and her husband are now safe and sound back in the States after boarding a flight this past Sunday. Reporting in Opelousas, I'm Paris Flanagan, your St. Andrew Parish reporter, KTC TV3.